Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Horror Room. I'm Travis Bruce, and today we're doing another indie horror spotlight. I have the indie filmmaker for a new movie that's going to be coming out soon. It's called Macabre Mountain. I have Xander Goldman. Xander, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. How are you, sir?
Good, 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 good. So tell us a little bit about Macabre Mountain. Hearing a lot about it.
I hope it's mostly good stuff, but
I've heard nothing but good things so far.
we are going to call it a action horror. Might be a little bit more action than horror. We'll let you decide. Horror action. We filmed it last year in Buchanan, West Virginia, September of last year, and the movie is done. And the premiere is October 13th. We picked Friday the 13th to premiere the movie.
That's perfect.
Yeah. So, go ahead.
So I don't. How much about the story can you tell us?
I don't want to give it away.
Yeah.
All of it. I'm one of the lead actors, and I will say that I'm don't want to give all of it away. A law enforcement agent, and I go through in the beginning of the movie, not the greatest situation, and it's sort of how I redeem myself, going from the beginning to the end. But there's lots of other elements in the movie. It has a haunted house attraction. Some of it was filmed there, some of it was filmed in a hotel, a little bit was in a cornfield. Wanted more of the cornfield, but last year it was like this rainy couple weeks, and the cornfield didn't quite work out for filming there. Kind of for safety and picture reasons, it just was too wet. So we filmed a little bit in the cornfield. I wanted more. I always like cornfields in horror movies, and I don't know, would you consider Joyride? Joyride was always a favorite.
Definitely a horror movie.
Okay. Okay. Well, I consider it an action movie, but love the cornfield in Joyride and other movies. Jeepers Creepers, Children of the Corn. I'm trying to think what other movies have cornfield elements in it. But anyways, I wanted to get more of it in there. You can even see it in the background. That's supposed to be some corn or something, and we just unfortunately weren't allowed to do that because of the sort of the previous weather conditions of the rain and making everything muddy and kind of unsafe. So maybe Macabre Mountain 2 we could have more of the cornfield. But yeah, haunted house attraction. Some of it was also in a hotel. Some of it was in the town of Buchanan, just in the streets. Some of it was in a little diner, but all of it, there were some other outdoor locations, but all of it was shot in the Buchanan area, West Virginia.
Okay. Now, you coming from a business background, what made you decide to, you know what, I want to make a horror movie?
Foolishness, because it's, in a relevant sense, most movies don't make their money back. It's very hard. Most indie movies, it's very hard for the little guy to make, their project, break even. Whole nother subject, distributors. Just be careful with distributors, but the distributors take their cut. So it's we're talking about streaming mainly. It's hard for the little guy to make their money back. So why did I want to do this movie from business stance? Talking to my friend so we'll start from the beginning. So a friend of mine, Josh Ringer, in my normal life, him and I do business. And he said to me one day over the phone, he said, I bought this piece of land, and near where he lives, it's like 1,200 acres. Mainly he does like trees. He cuts trees for timber and sells them. He said, I bought this piece of property, and he said, it has this old house on it, and instead of tearing it down, I'm gonna make it into a haunted house attraction, so people have something to do, and I'm giving also, some employment to the community. They earn a couple bucks, and it's a cool thing for people to come to. So when I went down and visited him, I didn't know what to expect, but I saw this house he was, going to make into, I think he already made it into the attraction. So I saw it and saw there's parking, and he had all these other locations, and in the woods. We didn't even actually film anything in the woods. We didn't get to it. There's all the other acreage. We didn't get to it. So my mind gets thinking. I've been on sets before where the sound is a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And here there's nothing around. It was nice and quiet. So I said to myself, the sound is going to be really good here because there's no streets, there's no traffic, there's no noises.
Mm-hmm.
It's really quiet, and that's great. For filming a movie, you got to have good sound. So that's great. And then I was talking to him more about it and asking about a couple of locations. I also asked him about catering, and his mother, Mrs. Ringer, Country Time Cooking, that's basically in the town. I said, "Is your mother still have that diner?" He's like, "Yeah." I said, "Do you think that she could provide catering?" He said, "Yeah." So now we got the food aspect taken care of, and I said, "What about lodging? Because the lodging can be very expensive." And he said, "I'm gonna let you talk to this guy I'm friends with. His name's Robbie Martin. He is a West Virginia state representative, and he has a hotel in town." So I went and talked to him, and he gave me a tremendous rate.
Nice.
So locations, catering, and lodging all came into place. So that's how I decided to film it there.
Now, how do you select your team when it comes to director, producer, actors, actresses? Lighting? How did you already know who you were going to pick, or did you have to look and find?
So this was in the beginning, like the beginning stages were talking to Josh Ringer, getting the locations, or asking about the locations, asking about the catering, asking about the hotel. Once I got that set, then the other things went in motion. So I'm going to say the true indie horror community is like a family. So you build your family from people that you know and work with. So I would say the first two people are Felissa Rose and Dan Kearney. So once I got these three things, the locations, the catering, and the hotel set, I asked them, would they, help me? And the three of us were basically, we're going to say, the executive producers in charge of production. So we are the ones that got everything ready, the crew, the other actors, and the script.
Okay.
So yeah.
Now, production-wise, how long did it take to film the movie?
12 days. 12 days
12
straight.
days.
Yes. No days off. So we did 12 days straight.
Okay. Now, you've hinted, so I guess I can ask you this. I'm assuming at the end of the movie, it's gonna leave an opening for a part 2?
Yes.
Okay. So there will be a sequel.
There's an opening for a sequel. Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Yes.
I mean, it has an ending, but you can see where there could be a sequel.
The sequel.
It doesn't end where you're like, I don't know what's going on,
Yeah.
and you have to wait for the second one. There is an ending, but there is an opportunity for a second one. Yes, a sequel.
Awesome. Now, I understand that you will be at the New Jersey, what's it called, the New Jersey Horror Film Festival. I think that's what it's called.
New Jersey Horror Con. Yes.
HorrorCon.
Yes.
You will be,
It's
and
gonna
that
be,
is that's what is that? The 21st, 20 and 21st.
it's Friday the 20th, Saturday the 21st, Sunday the 22nd, and that's going to be in Atlantic City, and it's going to be at the Showboat Hotel, right in the Showboat Hotel.
And the horror room will be there as well. I will be there during my walkthrough. So
Awesome. You got to come. We got to talk on Saturday. So
I'm definitely going to swing by and see. Now,
Yes.
will you be showing any screenings at the convention?
I will not. I will not.
Okay.
I will be, concentrating on my guest table. So I'll be there at my guest table, and I'll be 100% focused on that.
Okay. Now, one thing you and I talked about off camera, we just talk about it now. We talked about the great marketing that the Terrifier group did.
Yeah, amazing.
We're both business majors, and we talk
Yes.
about, and I talk about my interviews a lot about how smart those guys are at marketing and business. And you told me a story that you asked Damien Leone about the lady. So tell us that story. You asked them a question.
So yeah, in March when I saw him at the Showboat Hotel for the New Jersey HorrorCon that was in March, I asked him because I saw something online that someone was watching the movie and they passed out. And I guess the ambulance had to come. I assume the ambulance had to come and get them out of the theater. So I asked him because I most indie movies don't make any type of theater tours.
Yeah.
And I saw Terrifier 2. I was like, I'm excited for them.
Mm-hmm.
They got into theaters because like a real tour. I mean, it wasn't 4 weeks or whatever in every movie theater, but it wasn't a lot of things, and it got a lot of press. So I asked him. I said, what really went on with that lady? Did that really happen, or did you plan it? And he said, it really happened, but we are very happy of not because she got ill, but we are very happy for the press that came from it, because I think it's brilliant. So I was just wondering, I wouldn't say that I would do it, but I mean,
it's smart.
I would give my friend $100 and be like, drive out to, Iowa or someone, you can't have it, around where I live, or someone would be figuring it out. But, drive out to Iowa or something and pass out, throw up while you're on the ground and roll around and moan and hold your stomach. That's what I would do.
And I was even telling you about the barf bags. They put in that same article, they're handing out barf bags at every viewing. Like, whoever tipped, I'm not saying that this happened, but to tip the media and that made national news.
Right.
I mean, it was just a smart strategy.
I agree.
If it was a strategy.
I will tell you, in the indie world, a lot of us are collectors.
Mm-hmm.
We collect things. We just like, little things. So even if you go there and you're not going to throw up, you have this cool little thing
Terrifier 2
you'll
barf
take
bag.
home. Right. And then you can take that and get the people to autograph it. So especially indie, but horror fans like to collect things.
We do.
So and you get a little item is just great, and it's brilliant. marketing.
Now, how important do you think it is as a indie horror filmmaker to get out to horror conventions and meet fans and tell them about your work?
I think it's very important. It's a lot of grassroots, networking is very important with films. Just a lot of, I would say, filmmakers don't do that. So you really have to get out there, and just promote yourself. So whether it's social media, whether it's film festivals, conventions, just a lot of success comes from grassroots.
Yeah. Like I went to um so the way I started the indie interviews was because I was doing indie horror movie reviews at first, and then one of the directors commented on my YouTube video and like said, I would like to come on your channel for an interview. And that started the whole interview thing. And I went to the South Carolina horror convention a couple weeks ago, and I ran into her. She had a booth set up. She had the main villain there taking pictures for people for free autographs. Like, and I was like, and I can't even say nothing bad about that movie anymore. By the way, I can't. I can't say anything because I mean, I don't see anything bad about indie horror movies now at all. But the lady's trying. She's hustling. She's out there. She's getting her name known. I can't hate on that.
Right, and that's the way I look at it. If someone has a good heart and they're really trying, even if the movie's not the best, you got to give them credit.
Correct.
And respect. I know that not really for public talk, but a lot of projects aren't run that way. They're run for other reasons, and I personally do not like that. People make movies for other reasons, that aren't what I believe indie horror movies should be, which is just number one thing, family, respecting people, the horror community, and actually getting the movie to the public. Sometimes these movies disappear. And
I agree.
And I sort of don't like that so much, especially if you're taking Indiegogo money, which I have, and I respect every penny that people donated to my movies. I really appreciate that. But you are expected to do a certain level and get the movie out there. So I know some movies, I don't know if they're delayed or if they're never ever going to come out, and that's not real good. So once you start taking an Indiegogo money or investor money, you should do your best job at making a film within its budget. So I try to tell people I don't have Star Wars money, so Macabre Mountain is not going to be Star Wars. Do we try? Yes. Is it the best thing ever? And it's not.
What's the gore level?
What's that?
What's the gore level in this movie?
It's not real gory. Yeah,
okay.
It's not real gory. But then I watch Terrifier and I see this success and I'm thinking, I should have cut someone's head off or got a wood chipper. Asked my friend for a wood chipper and
don't bleach in someone's eyes or something, right?
So it's not terribly gory. I would say it's more action oriented than gory. We have a helicopter in the movie. You'll see a helicopter,
nice.
Real helicopter. my picture vehicle is a Dodge Ram TRX. It's my friend Josh Ringer's truck.
Sweet.
And I said, hey, when we come down for the movie, can I drive your truck around? He's like, yeah, you can drive my truck. So he let me drive that. So we got a helicopter, the TRX. We got a big, and it's Josh's too, a big excavator. We got in one of the scenes.
Nice.
So it has some action elements in it, more than like Terrifier or gore. Yeah.
But it has a scary horror vibe to it. The action horror.
I would say it's action horror. It's not. I would say more than scary. It's more perhaps a story, and you watch the story, and it's like you don't know exactly what's going to happen.
Okay. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I've heard good things.
It's not super gory. I didn't want to have like a super
bloodfest, yeah,
gory movie. I wanted something more action and kind of a story that has a plot, and you kind of like I don't know what exactly is going to happen. So
yeah,
you kind of wonder what's going to happen at the end. So
now you talked about something, and I want to ask you a question on that. So you were talking about crowdfunding. As an indie filmmaker, when you go ahead and start doing a crowdfunding, accepting money from fans, pretty much, do you think that adds on more pressure than if you funded a movie on your own? Like, is it that added on pressure that like I have to make a great movie now?
So this is my thought on it. When I did the Indiegogo for Macabre Mountain, I'm creating an experience for people. So if you donated, I did it a little differently. If you donated, we can negotiate, and if you want a part, it's all negotiable, and you have a part in the movie. I didn't do any auditions. I don't like doing auditions myself. They make me nervous. Half the time when people are like, hey, Xander, we need you to do this audition for this, I don't do them. I don't like to do them. So I didn't make anyone do an audition. So if you donated, I wanted to create an experience for you. So low pressure, no auditions. Try to make a role that you're comfortable with. I didn't want to take someone and then have the script like set and then shoehorn you in and you got to do this. Didn't want to do that. So try to make a part that someone feels comfortable playing and they enjoy the role. They have fun on set. We didn't start at 4 a.m. We didn't start at 6 a.m. I've been on, real SAG sets that I had to be there at 5 o'clock in the morning, and it's miserable.
Yeah,
it's miserable. I don't want to get there at 5. That's me driving there at 5, an hour away. So I don't want to do that. So we didn't do that. We started at 7:30, 7, 8, 9 o'clock. And I provided everyone their lunch and dinner, and lunch and dinner were very good. Going back to Country Time Cooking and Mrs. Ringer, so that's part of the experience that we tried to have lunch and we tried to have dinner all together every day on set. So I wanted it to be an experience. When you donate your money, I wanted to give you a nice in exchange for that. For you, if you want to have a role, you have a role, and low pressure. If you didn't want to do something or you want to change it, that's fine. But I wanted people to play a part that they enjoy. I didn't want to take someone and shoehorn them into something that, perhaps wasn't, the right fit for their, their abilities. So, but yes, there is pressure. There is pressure when you take someone's money to be fair with them. So, yes. And I have donated to other people's campaigns to act, and just donations in general. And sometimes when I would go and act on set or whatever, go there to hang out before and after acting, sometimes it's been good, sometimes it's been bad. So I've tried to take what I believe the negative, experiences, and, eliminate that for people.
Okay, so, and that's a good thing. That's definitely a good thing, because I definitely heard of some nightmare experiences, and that's a good thing to give, fans, someone donating the money, that is a good experience. Now, I have two what if questions for you. This is the fun part of the interview. All right. So, during the beginning of this movie, if somebody would give you an extra $200,000 towards the budget of this movie, what's the one thing that you would have added in this movie that you were like, boy, I wish if I would have had X amount, I would have added this? What would that one thing been?
Okay, you're saying too many general things. So someone's giving me
$200,000 in the beginning of production of the movie.
So the day we start filming, or way before that?
Way before.
Okay.
So you would have the $200,000 plus whatever you raised.
Okay.
You eventually raised. What's one thing that you would add to the movie that wasn't in it?
I can only pick one thing.
One thing. Okay, I'll give you two things.
Oh, now you're gonna make me think. So the 200,000 is free, or is it like someone?
It's free. It's yours.
Someone won the lottery and they like
here's 200,000. Yeah, they like you.
They met me at a convention and they wanted to give me the 200,000 towards the movie.
200K. Okay. Have fun.
Oh, you're gonna make me think. So I don't. That's a tough question. So I don't know if that would be enough to make it into a SAG movie. Probably would need on what I would feel comfortable with. So if it was a little bit more, it could make it into a SAG movie.
But there was nothing in the movie where you're like, boy, if we had a little bit more money, I would have liked to add that.
I would say RE cameras.
Okay.
Yeah, RE cameras. Yeah, I would say that RE cameras. That's something. I don't know if I could just say two things, because the 200,000 would go. I'm just thinking everything. Geez, I wouldn't have made it 12 days. I would have made it longer.
Okay.
So I would have made it longer than 12 days to maybe get a couple different angles of shots. There was one day, and it didn't turn out bad. There was one day it was raining, or I think it was 2 days it was raining. So, if you had extra days to film, that would have helped that. Maybe had a couple different angles, RE cameras. Maybe hire more known horror actors. Give them a job.
Okay.
So I know I'm going over my 2 limit, but
who would you got? Kane Hodder? Or Tony Todd?
So Well, Kane Hodder is SAG.
Oh, okay, okay. I didn't know that.
So if I could make a SAG movie, then yes,
Mhm.
I would be somehow getting in touch with Kane Hodder. Yes. Michael Berryman is SAG. Tony Todd, he's SAG
Yeah.
also. And I'm trying to think who else did the I wanted to have Danny Trejo.
Oh, that'd be
Danny
amazing.
Trejo. Yeah, so the 200,000. Now I'm thinking of a Danny Trejo.
You
Danny
could
Trejo.
definitely get the Danny Trail for 200,000. I think.
I've heard his day rate and it's expensive, but the 200,000 would have covered his day rate, and there would be some left. I don't want to say what I heard, but yeah, Danny Trejo, I would have at least inquired about. So yeah, Danny Trejo. Yep.
Okay, so Danny Trejo is the answer.
So Ari cameras, Danny Trejo, more days on, set filming.
Those are some good ones. Those are definitely some good ones.
Yeah.
All right, the second random question. What is one mistake or what's one thing that making your first film that you're like, boy, that either worked or didn't work, that on a second film you wouldn't do? Or you either wouldn't do or would do?
This seems to
All
be a
right, so,
minor. Go ahead.
all right, so let me repeat it. So the first part of the question is, what's one thing from the first movie that you would carry over that you were like, that was done well, I'm going to carry that over to the second film?
Okay.
And the second part is, what is one thing from making your first film that you were like, oh, that was a fuck up, I'm not going to carry that over to the second film? And I'm not talking
We'll
about the actual
start.
movie itself, but the actual production wise.
I will say with Macabre Mountain, a mistake that I will start with like something I need to improve on. I should have had probably one or two people like directly being my assistants, like not assisting other things, but directly be with me. So one thing that was stressing me out is I sort of took care of everyone's hotel arrangements. It was difficult because the hotel, the Bicentennial Inn, which Robbie Martin owns, has limited amount of rooms. So we kind of had a bigger cast. So in some crew too. So people were coming in and out. Everyone didn't stay there for the entire 12 days. Some people, because of scheduling, some people come in, some people left, other people come in later. So I actually would have really done a lot better if I would have had like two people and they would be in charge of all these people are coming in these different times and they need a room for X amount of days. We also had a sort of another like a secondary hotel. So if the first hotel is full, we would go over the second hotel. A secret that happened, there was one day I was so stressed out. Bicentennial was full, the other hotel was full, and I actually had a good friend coming down. I think he was there for 2 days, and another actor was going to be there, and I had new hotel room for them. So I didn't want them to go way off far, so I actually paid for an Airbnb. So stressful.
Sounds.
Just I didn't know the exact number. I was close, but I didn't know the exact number of rooms because I had to tell them previously I just can't show up and be like,
Yeah.
I need all these rooms now. I sort of had to tell them. So it was insane with the other hotel. It's sort of a juggling act. And they were both telling me like there's a couple days that are going to be very, very tight on the extra rooms. So one day I didn't have enough, so I ended up, it was kind of expensive, but I had to get an Airbnb, and I actually gave my room to someone else, so I didn't have a place to stay. So
Wow.
yeah, both, I was basically tapped out of both of the hotels, and I had to give my two friends coming in to act the Airbnb, and the one gentleman actually said, "You got me this big Airbnb, just stay in the one room." So I actually did that for 2 days. So
So
so yeah,
assistant.
I would have an assistant, at least one, probably two, that would take care of like logistics, coming in when they're leaving, um, knowing when people were gonna, their flights were coming in and flights were leaving, that they would take care of that and have their phone numbers there. Um, Gosh, what was I gonna? Oh, and I took it upon myself to do most of the crafty, and I I shouldn't do that because I'm doing all these other things,
Yeah.
and I was so tired once. It's 10 o'clock at night, and I was like, I got to make sure people have food. And I was at Walmart, and I lost my car. I didn't know where the car was.
Wow.
I was so tired. I just
Wearing
I
too many
thought
hats.
I thought someone stole my car. And I'm looking around. Finally, after half an hour, I realized I parked on the side of Walmart instead of the front, the big
Hmm.
front area. And I was like, well, there's my car. I was so tired I didn't realize where my car was. So mistakes I made, having two people to take care of like some logistics things and the crafty. I would just say, here's some cash. You know, you know, here's some cash. Here's some ideas of some crafty stuff. Go every 2 days or something, and make sure that there's um, food on the crafty table, or wherever we're going to be. So that would be that's one mistake I know I did. What did I do? Well, I think the people that donated through Indiegogo, I think they had a great time. So, um, to carry on, we tried to have lunch and dinner together, and I think that was everyone did. We didn't overshoot the time. We're having like this 12-hour dinner. So on major sets, you have, on your call sheet, you have a like a crew call. So just in case anyone doesn't know this, so if it says 9 o'clock a.m., you're supposed to have your lunch at 3 p.m. And if it goes over 12 hours, you're supposed to have a dinner. So if the crew call is at 9 a.m., you have your lunch is supposed to be at 3 p.m. Then if you go over 12 hours, it's supposed to be 9 p.m. Um, and sometimes it's background kind of
Hmm.
thing I'm doing. And I'm like, to me, I'm like, there's food there. Like the crafty tent has food, even has like, sometimes it has soup and little sandwich things. I'm like, this is fine with me. It's good food. But at the lunchtime and supper time, you have to basically stop, and you're supposed to sit down and rest, kind of
Yeah.
relax, and have like, I don't want to say a formal, but more, here's your dinner
Hmm.
time. So getting back to, our dinners weren't the 12-hour dinners. They were just when we were done filming and everyone got together and socialize. So I think that was good. We all were together for the most part for lunch and dinner and socialized every day.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, Xander, how can everyone find you on social media?
Facebook.
Just
You
Facebook.
can add me, and there's a couple of Xander Goldmans, but you'll see my picture in the Macabre Mountain thing. So it would be Facebook, and just add me. You also can send me a message. I try to message everyone back within 24 hours on Messenger, there, the Facebook Messenger.
Awesome. And how can anyone find Macabre Mountain?
So
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
so I will tell you the schedule of events. Right now we're having Friday the 13th. It's the premiere, and when this airs will be past, but the premiere is going to be in Cranford, New Jersey. So then the following weekend would be the 21st, 22nd, 23rd, Friday, Saturday, Sunday at the New Jersey HorrorCon in Atlantic City at the Showboat Hotel. I will have Blu-rays and DVDs of Macabre Mountain for everyone to buy. Pictures are free, autographs are free. So I'll be in the guest area. I'll try to be selling some of these T-shirts too. I bought a lot of T-shirts. So I'll have Macabre Mountain DVDs, Blu-rays, T-shirts, a couple other things. We also are going to have, I'm going to read this, another showing. It's going to be in Newark, Delaware, at the Main Street Movies 5. That's going to be on Saturday, November 4th at 7 p.m. And if you want tickets, just give me a direct message on Facebook, and I could give you more information about the ticket sales for that day. Also going to probably trying to have a showing in the Indianapolis area.
Nice.
Probably the next weekend.
Okay.
So, not so sure about that yet, but the Blu-rays and DVDs will be at New Jersey HorrorCon, also in Delaware. Probably going to do the Indianapolis thing. You can buy a DVD or Blu-ray. I still have my Indiegogo campaigns up. If you don't want to go through one of the campaigns, you can always send me a direct message on Facebook, and I can ship you out something. Yeah, tell you how you can buy them and ship them out. And I will be doing that after I get back from the New Jersey HorrorCon. So after I travel home on the 23rd and 24th, I'm really going to be doing a big push to ship out the items, the Blu-rays, the DVDs, and some posters for everyone that bought them. Indiegogo and sales from now until then, those are going to be my big shipping days. So
awesome. Well, I'm gonna be seeing you at the New Jersey HorrorCon. I'm also gonna be seeing you in Newark, Delaware, because that's right down the street from me, so not that far away.
Right.
Yep.
Love it.
Xander, it's been an absolute pleasure, man. I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for your time. I appreciate you taking your time and having a great interview. Thank you.
It's no problem, my friend. You're more than welcome to come back on any time.
I will, but I'll take you up on that. Thank you.
Yes. Well, everyone, thank you for coming to the Horror Realm. I'm Travis Bruce. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.